So we just we kind of wrapped up our stream here a little bit ago. We did a little over 18 hours. I spent the last hour putting some notes together, get some ideas together, so I can do my initial thoughts of the 12.12 patch or wipe, however you want to look at it. We got level 14. We're about halfway to level 15. 27 raids, 19 hours, like I said. About 18 and a half of gameplay. But we are well in, and I've got some pretty good thoughts about where we're at and how much I've enjoyed the wipe and where I think we're headed from here. So real quick, just so you guys don't feel like it's misleading, this video I'm not going to talk about much about Lighthouse just because I haven't had a chance to spend enough time on the map yet. It's still new to me. I'm still exploring it. So I'm not going to tell you anything you don't already know other than the map's huge. It's cool. There's some crazy new shit on it. And the rogues, which are the USEC raiders kind of things, are absolutely devastating if you pick a fight with them. So be careful. On top of that, I'm not going to talk about the Flea. Flea unlocks a level 15. I'm not level 15, so I'm not going to talk about something I haven't experienced yet or that I don't have a great handle on. I'll have 15 here tomorrow. We'll probably put some thoughts together on how much it's changing the game with the changes they put in there and how it's going to make things flow a lot different this way. And then third is the Shoreline Change. We'll give you a little preview. We ran over there and checked it out. I haven't done much other than run by it in offline mode to see what it looks like and see the changes, but they did do a big change to Shoreline to integrate it with Lighthouse. It's kind of cool. Check it out. They've also changed the extracts, it looks like, on Shoreline quite a bit, which is a really good thing. So that being said, let's jump right into Inertia, because that's the big one, right? That's the big one with 12.12 besides Lighthouse coming out. Inertia. I don't know how mixed the community is on it. There is a lot of vocal people that are very much against it, and I should say a lot. There's a small group of people that are very vocally against it and a small group of people that are very vocally for it. Me, I'm very for it, but I'm not going to be super vocal. I'm just going to give you my take, how I see it, and where we're headed with the current Inertia system. So I think Inertia is fantastic. I think it's added a great deal of depth to the game and where it is and what you do in the game. So before, movement didn't have a whole lot of thought to it. You just kind of went from point A to point B. You didn't have to plan anything. You didn't have to think about it. You just went, and you could change on the fly, and it was no big deal. You do that now with Inertia, you get punished, and punished by usually dying. You run across an open field and you don't have cover to get to that you're planning on going to, or you get engaged, you can't zigzag and get out of it. You have to think about every move you're going to make, and it doesn't matter if you're running upstairs, moving through doors, getting around inside buildings is a pain now. And I say that in a good way. It's a pain because you can see here I've got 4,700 hours. I've got two other accounts that are side accounts that I screw around on. So let's just say I got 5,000 hours, right? 5,000 hours of muscle memory is very, very hard to overcome. And it's going to take a while. I've started in my 18 hours, 19 hours now. I've gotten much better with it, much more comfortable with the movement, predicting it and expecting what's going to come out of it. Yes, it still feels sluggish. The comparisons of like running through water or jello or however you want to put it, they're all valid, but I don't know that they're necessarily a bad thing. And in my experience so far today, whenever I failed to take into account Inertia, it cost me. And I've fought teams of 3 or 4 guys that tried to act like it was pre-Inertia Tarkov, and I killed them all by myself because they just get caught out in the open and they just stand there because they try to 80 strafe and they get stuck and then they get folded. And that's the game we have now. I do think some adjustments need to be made. What they are yet, I don't really want to say too much because I've got 18 hours in. There needs to be more experience, more, how does strength affect it? All these other things. Get into more dynamic fights and see where that thing is. It does feel off, but does it feel off just because I'm so used to the old way, or does it feel off because there's something wrong? I honestly think it's a little bit of both. Just to feed the masses, if you will. I think what needs to be changed, the first thing that I think that could be dialed in a little bit, and I'm not saying anytime soon, I think they should wait a couple of weeks, is that acceleration factor. How long it takes you to get up to speed, how long it takes you to slow down, the movement back and forth. I think it's a little too much right now. Like, it takes too long to speed up. It takes too long to change directions. And it might just need to be tuned down just a little bit. I don't know. That's kind of where I feel now, but maybe in 4 or 5 days I change my mind. And that's what we'll do. We'll keep playing with it. We'll keep working through it. Try to find the high spots and the low spots and help BSG come up with a better system that makes the game as fun, but still have a great deal of depth, which is what this system does. Now, after this is of the things I want to, my recap, I guess, if you will, is VOIP. I was skeptical of VOIP. I wasn't like against it because you can just turn it off, right? I was neutral on it. It was like, okay, they're going to add this. We all know how the internet works. it's going to suck for some people. You might have some fun stuff with it. I can use it to make some good content. Maybe, we'll see. And all I can say is all of my interactions with VoIP have been a great, fantastic, positive experience in the game. And I don't mean like, oh, Care Bears and hugging. I mean, they made my experience in the game better. Whether that be I team up with a couple of players on factory, we clear out all the scavs, we kill everything, we trade loot with each other, figure out what each other needs, and then we go our separate ways and everybody's hunky-dory. Or you use it to bait players into places in dorms or in Big Red where they didn't, they thought they had you trapped and you just kept them talking while your buddy flanked them and got an easy kill because they thought they had you trapped and you're bullshitting trying to negotiate your way out when all you're really doing is keeping them busy so that they die a horrible, horrible death from their arrogance. And the worst experience, if you want to call it that, I had was Liston. We were playing. Liston got killed by a pistoline. And he knew I was there, and he starts, talking shit, saying, "Oh, you fucking idiot, blah, 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 blah." And mid-sentence of him saying, "I'm going to fucking kill you," I shot him right in the face with a shotgun, and it just went silent. And that was incredibly satisfying. So even that negative experience, if you want to call it that, I didn't really care. It didn't bother me none. I got a great deal of pleasure out of it because as soon as I shot his ass, he shut up, whether he wanted to or not. He might have been talking, but the game, he went silent. And those have been my experiences. Everybody's are going to vary. You're going to have the bad ones. I know that, but there's going to be some great ones. So if you haven't turned it on yet, I suggest you do. Give it a try. You can hotkey it to turn it off right away. So you don't have to go through your menu. There's a hotkey that you can actually hit. It'll turn VoIP on and off. And so if you run into something really bad, it doesn't have to ruin your gaming experience. But there is a chance for a lot of really fun encounters, especially as scavs having VoIP now. So we did a quick video. It's a short. Go watch it. I'll show you how to turn everything on and get set up for you. And then the last big one, I guess, of changes that I don't want to, we're not going to get into great detail about it because I don't have a lot of information yet, is ballistics. I've noticed how much easier it is to shoot at some of the further distances. Now, I haven't really reached out to like 200 or 300 meters to try and fine tune that yet, but I have noticed that like 70, 75, 80 meters up to about 150, it is really easy to hit stuff because the trajectories are so flat, especially with some of the rounds we're using right out the gate. The 5.56 rounds and the 5.45 rounds that travel really fast. They don't drop. And is it a good or a bad one yet? I don't know. I think it's a good change to be more realistic to what it is, but I think the challenge of shooting further distances made the reward of actually landing those shots that much better. So we'll just have to see where it goes. I would expect to get shot in the head a lot more often because there's not going to be more of those shots where you take a round to the chest that should have hit you in the head just because the guy shooting wasn't dialed in. Now, as far as changes in the game with items, things like that, the hideouts changed a little bit. I haven't got everything upgraded, but I've noticed a couple of cool things like, going from generator 1 to 2. You've got this new tool in here. So there's things like that. There's going to be some new barter items, things for us to look at, things that make it harder to upgrade the hideout, which I think is good. It makes it more meaningful when you get it. I will do a video breaking down what you need to keep, what you need to find to get your hideout upgraded in tiers. And so expect to see that here in a couple of days, if not tomorrow. And we'll get you guys up to speed on what to keep in raids so you can get your hideout upgraded. After that, we have some crafts changed too. For example, med station, the big one I noticed now are these medical tools. I haven't found these in 18 hours of playing. I have not found them, which means they don't spawn on anywhere in customs. I don't say they don't, but we haven't had any luck finding them on customs, woods, or interchange. We will hit some of these other maps harder later, see if there's a place to find them so that we can do this, because this is a new craft. This is a cool little craft, being able to make CMSs, but these not being accessible makes it kind of odd. So we'll try to track those down and let you guys know. There's some new barters. The traders have some new barters that are good. And new, some of these might not be new to you. I'm going to talk about the ones that I've noticed that are going to be a big deal for players, and things like this one here, where the VPO 209 or the AK-74N. You can take old AK-74Ns or old VP209s, take two of them. So like, for example, the ones that are on fence, I'll hop over here real quick and just show you. If you look at fence, it might be kind of hard to find, but you'll see some VPO 209s in here from time to time. So like right here, you've got these ones. You can buy those up and then turn those into 100% 209s. I didn't suggest doing that. Fence is really expensive. What you should do is take them out of raid, but it gives you a way to get some of the guns you get off your scavs up to 100% durability. Now, I haven't done a deep dive yet. I'll get into the barters a little bit more. We'll talk about the things they've added, things you need to keep out for like level 1, level 2 to make your life a little bit easier in Tarkov and get some of this better gear. So we'll talk real briefly about some of the new items. I just got Peacekeeper to level 2, and I noticed there's a bunch of stuff on here that we didn't have before. Things like you can get the ump suppressor now. This is level 2 Peacekeeper, so that's cool. So you can put a suppressor on the ump. I haven't tried it yet. I'll probably try it tomorrow because I'm excited. I want to see how it works. And then the one that I'm really excited about is a Scar. I don't have the money to be buying these things constantly. We'll probably try one out tomorrow, but this is available at level 2 Peacekeeper now for dollars. So something to push forward if you want to get Peacekeeper to level 2. You basically just have to get to level 14. And if you don't have EOD, there's tasks you have to deal with, but with EOD, you can get them level 2 right away. And then the last thing I'm just going to do a quick mention of, because I've been getting tons of questions today, is this happens pretty much every wipe. The Gunsmith tasks kind of get tweaked and changed a little bit. So I've got a way to get Gunsmith Part 1 done. I'll get something out for you guys here later today. This is going to be Monday, so it might be past it. We'll do a short or something on how to get this done built so that you can do it yourself. It may change, so just keep that in mind. And then we'll go through each of these and get through them and make sure that you guys have the ability to not just build them. I'll tell you the parts that I use, but I'll also give you some alternative parts so that you might find something in Raid that works for you. You don't necessarily have to do these things in the very exact way you're told. So we'll go through those in a little bit more detail, but keep in mind they have changed. The wiki may not be right for a week, a couple of days, just depends on how long it takes to get updated. So let's talk about some of the bad, and not to beat up on the patch. It's just the stuff that I want to get information out there for you guys. The things that I saw come across. The first big one is do not do Chemicals Part 4 until I don't even have it yet. I've got Chemicals Part 1, but you've seen people. Pestily, I think, was the one that found it out first, at least of the big streamers. There's stuff all over Reddit, Twitter, everywhere you look. If you do Chemicals Part 4, you will continue to get negative rep from the traders as you do other tasks and you do other raids and stuff like that. So don't turn in Chemical Part 4. Don't do the task until they get this fixed. Hopefully they'll have it fixed here pretty quickly. So check on that. You can come ask me in stream. I'll let you know what I know about it, if it's been fixed or not yet. Something like this gets high on the priority list, so I'm hopeful it gets fixed pretty quick. The second one is gas analyzers. I don't know what's going on here. I don't have hard proof of anything, but there are a lot of people having a hard time finding gas analyzers, and not the usual, I looted 9 filing cabinets and didn't find one. They're never going to spawn anywhere. Not that. In our 18 hours, and we looted hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of filing cabinets and jackets, we never found a gas analyzer, or in tool chests or technical supply crates or any of those places, stashes, caches, any of that. We have a couple of buddies who play Interchange almost solely, and that's your best source for gas analyzers, usually is over in Ollie. They haven't found a single one either. So they may just be bugged. I wouldn't be trying to grind them and find them until we hear otherwise, or until maybe they get a patch out or a hot fix to fix it. I think they're broken. I could be wrong, but don't sweat it. It sucks because it gatekeeps therapists. You can't move her tasks forward without that gas analyzer, and you actually end up needing 3 of them, or you used to. I don't know what's after. They may have changed it, but that gas analyzer is a wall. So I'm hoping they get that fixed here pretty soon, because it's hurting a lot of people's experience in the game. And then the last one is email verification. It seems like this happens every wipe. People have problems with email verification. And there's three things that I've heard from people that seem like the most likely. So see if these apply to you and they can work. I think Geekska talked about something he did and it fixed his issue. Was he added the email for BSG, the no reply at bsg.com or whatever it is. He added that to his address book, and it said it fixed his problem. Other people are saying that it depends on what service your email works through, Yahoo or I can't remember. Yahoo is the one that stuck in my head, but they have issues with the emails, maybe because they're from Russia and they get pinged a lot. Who knows? But it seems to be more centered towards specific email providers. So check that out. Maybe you have to change your email to, I use Gmail and Hotmail for my various accounts, and they all work fine. I've never had any issues with verification emails. And the third one is the servers are just overloaded. There's nothing wrong anywhere. None of those others even matter. It's just their verification email system is so overwhelmed right now that maybe it takes a day or 2 to get yours. And that sucks. I know. I wish I had something better for you. But you might just have to sit tight and wait. And you might get 5 of these verification emails in a row. And then at least the system's caught up. So with that, I ran around Lighthouse a little bit. It's huge. It's a super cool map. Go check it out for yourself. Don't depend on what I say about it. Make your own opinion of it. Once I want to probably have at least 30 raids on Lighthouse before I do any kind of guide or review or anything of it, because then I really know what it is. I'm not telling you anything that's wrong. Plus, I bet there's stuff that changes in the next couple of days, and I don't want to waste my time or your time with a video that we're just gonna have to redo. So we'll do that when we get there. the Shoreline Change. So I got in, I ran over to where the new extract area was, basically the spot that connects Shoreline and Lighthouse, and it's completely changed. They changed this huge section of the corner of the map over by Sunken Village, and it opens up into Lighthouse. You can see some of the stuff that you would see from Lighthouse from Shoreline. And I didn't go over there on Lighthouse to check the Shoreline side, but I suspect it's the same thing. You can see that stuff. So it's another extract, and I had the extract available to me regardless of what side of Shoreline I spawned on. So even if you spawn on the tunnel side, you can go right up there and extract. It was available. I don't know if that's going to stay that way. It might change, but that's how it is right now. They've also changed the extracts on the other side. CCP temporary wasn't there anymore, but there's a new extract that's always open because CCP temporary wouldn't always be open. It's the railroad tracks, bridge at railroad tracks or something. And anybody who's over there where those landmines are and some of those caches, there's a bridge that runs across there. I haven't checked it out yet. That might be the extract. I didn't see Rock Passage, so I don't know if Rock Passage is still in or not. If you've used it, by all means, let us know, but I think they may have taken that extract out. And then Docks is still there, but I haven't messed with that yet. Hopefully they got something to where you can tell that it's open or not, or it's fixed. Who knows? And then lastly, we'll talk about the Flea. So the Flea it's at level 15. It was 20 last wipe. They pulled it back to 15. I don't know, was it 3 months in or halfway through? They made 15 unlock. Maybe it was sooner than that. I don't know. I had already had it. So it's pretty attainable by people now, in my opinion. Your quests will get you there, especially with the help of dailies now. Also at level 15, you get your weekly tasks. I haven't got mine unlocked yet, so all of that stuff's going to come in at 15. They've locked a lot of stuff out of the flea market. Basically, all your top-end ammo, armor, gear like that, you can't get on the Flea. Once I get the Flea unlocked and I can see how that impacts the game and actually have an educated opinion about it, I'll let you guys know. This channel, you guys know, it's all about money. It's all about the hideout, making your time more efficient and making the game more accessible for those folks that can't grind it like I do or have access to the information that I can get because I play it all the time. We will, of course, dive into the flea market a great deal and how these changes are going to affect it. I'm optimistic. I think they're great changes, but let's see how it really affects, because it's not just the fact that you can't buy, you can't sell now. So you've got some big ticket items that you used to be able to make a lot of money with, can't anymore. So you're gonna have to find other ways to do that. So excited. I'm super happy with the patch. It's been fantastic. I had a great 18 hours. Yes, the queue times were long. Happens every wipe day and patch day. Patches, just whether they're wipe or not, they cause that. It'll take a week to get through them. Weekdays are going to be better. As soon as East Coast time hits about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, the servers get really delayed. You get lots of queue times. That's just how it works in the NA region. And then about midnight to 1 a.m. East Coast time, they drop off. We literally went one raid. We did 7-8 raids in a row where we had 10-minute to 12-minute queue times. And then we literally went from that to a 1-minute queue time, just like that. I think it was about 12:15 East Coast time, maybe a little bit earlier. But that's just how it is. So that's it. That wraps up the video. Hope you guys got a lot out of it. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you want me to do more specific. If you guys want me to dive into details or anything you want from me, I'm here at your leisure. I'm only here because you guys watch my content, so I greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are enjoying the patch if you've gotten a chance to get in. If not, get in there because you're missing out. It's a lot of fun, and Tarkov is headed in some really, really good places. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in Tarkov.